Hey everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today I'm going to be talking about 7 games that really disappointed me. Let's talk about these games. These games were picked mainly because they are games that I was like so hyped for, and then when I played them I was like, this is not as good as I thought it was going to be at all. So we will start out with the first game. It is for Vita. I actually have 3 Vita games on this list, which sucks because it's like one of my favorite consoles, but that's because I buy a lot for it, and so I'm more likely to be disappointed. So we've got the first one here, World of Final Fantasy. This game honestly sucks. This game sucks so much. I'm sorry to those who enjoyed it. I found that it was just ass. This game is really crappy. I did my research because I was worried about it, and I was like, but then I started seeing some good reviews, so I thought, oh, and it's like a love letter to the fans. If you like Final Fantasy, you'll probably like it. I really thought this was terrible, and the biggest reason I thought it was terrible was it was just Final Fantasy characters showing up for fan service, and you're like, oh, that's neat, there's lightning, or there's Terra, or whatever. And then as you're playing it, you're like, this story is so boring, and the main characters were dreadful. They were like god-awful, so bad. I am like so disappointed by this. I got to the end, I swear to you, and they're like, oh, it was like a shitty ending, and they're like, oh, there's more, and I thought, no, there's not. No more. The next disappointing game on my list is one I did a review on that everybody knows I didn't like it, but I have to include it on this list, and that is Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. And I know this game gets a lot of hype, and I know a lot of people really liked this game. The reason it disappointed me was it was a lot of student interaction and character development on that end. That sounds great, but you actually go nowhere. The whole story is pretty much at this one school. I didn't like really the setting of it. Like, I didn't like the vibe it was going for. The characters were probably the best thing about it, but I really did not like just the story. Like, I thought it was boring. I'm like, I really don't care about anything. Nothing was interesting to me. I really liked the characters, and I will stress that, but I did not like anything else about it. The battle system was good. I will give it that. But for me, a battle system can be subpar. As long as the story is incredible and I'm engaged and I'm like super into it, then it's okay. But damn, I really thought this was boring. I don't know. I was like, how is it still going? Next up, we have the last Vita game, and that oh my god, this game. Akiba's Trip, or Akiba Strip, however you want to say it, Undead and Undressed, and okay, before we go into it, because this sounds like the kind of game that would be disappointing from the get-go, like, hey, how did you not know that was gonna be a bad game? Like, it's not really about that. It's more, I didn't expect a ton from it, but I just didn't expect it to be so boring. So, for starters, this game looks really good. I really like that it's in a modern day setting, and the concept of it was kind of, like, funny to me. I don't know. I really did think it was funny how you had to, like, rip people's clothes off to sort of, like, kill them, and it was funny. It was funny to me. Like, that's how you defeated enemies and stuff. Like, I thought that was funny, but at the same time, there really is no interesting plot here, and I apologize to people who thought it was good, but I really thought it was boring. Like, if you're gonna have something funny like that, keep me engaged. Like, I literally was sitting there going like this on the dialogue because it was so boring. I'm like, oh, so boring. Next up is a game that really disappointed me, and I'm really mad that it did, because the game actually is amazing on all fronts except one point. So the game is Zoo Tycoon, and I got it for Xbox One a long time ago, and I was really excited for this. And I have to say, I put the game in, I'm playing it, I'm really enjoying it, actually. This is awesome. I'm building all sorts of fun things. I'm watching my zoo expand. I'm adding different exhibits. I've got a popcorn stand here. I've got elephants over here, and I'm trying to keep it all like, these animals go together, and I've got like, it was so fun. So why did I not like it? I didn't like it, and I was going to do a review on this, and again, I did not, but I didn't like this game in the well, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I did like the game. I was disappointed by the game because there's actually like a size limit. It won't let you go any further, and I understand that to a certain degree in terms of it obviously isn't going to be infinite, but like my zoo wasn't that big, and yet it's like no more. You cannot build it anymore, and I thought, but my zoo isn't that big, and I feel like I have so much more to do, and I've only spent like 6 hours on it or something. Like, it's so limited. You're like, that's it? That's all the zoo I can do? Like, I want way more exhibits, and I want all these things to happen, and more visitors to come. And then it's just like, yeah, no, you can't build any more zoo. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. The next game I have on my list is a game that a lot of people really like. So it is kind of a shocking one to put on my list. Like, I feel like people like this way more than Trails of Cold Steel. So, that would be Radiant Historia for the DS. And, okay. So the reason it disappointed me was, I was looking forward to it so much. I remember buying this at the Calgary Expo. I was so excited, and I think I started it last year, or maybe it was 2016, whatever. It was very recent, and I was like, oh, I'm looking for a good game, and I thought, I'm gonna settle. I've decided I'm playing Radiant Historia because it gets so many great reviews. It's considered to be maybe one of the best RPGs on the DS, and all these great things. And it's time travel, so it's kind of like has some Chrono Trigger vibes, and I'm like, oh, this sounds like awesome. So I'm playing it, and I'm really enjoying it, actually. I'm like, this is really cool. It's got some medieval-y things that I'm not a huge fan of, but that's cool, because the time travel aspect's kind of neat. I'm enjoying some of the characters, and I really like the battle system. It's kind of neat. It's grid-based, but it's not an SRPG, but it's kind of different. So I'm like, this is a neat game. I'm really enjoying this. Now I'm playing after hours and hours and hours, and I'm sorry, call me an idiot, but like the back and forth between like storylines, it was really annoying. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I thought, I'm not digging this, really. This is, I'm looking things up, like, oh, okay, like you're going back and forth through timelines. And I found the way it was done in Chrono Trigger, and I'm sure there's a lot of other games that have this aspect in them, but I'm going to compare it to that. Chrono Trigger was done in a really interesting way with the story, and it wasn't constantly back and forth all over the place, reliving the same moment. You were just going to a different time and doing something there. This was very much the same time, but like, let's go back 20 minutes, but let's always constantly do it, or go back a day or whatever. So it's not the same. You're not going back to ancient times or like futuristic times. It's you know, very much within this one timeline. And that's cool and very interesting, and it is done well, and there's a whole map you can look at all the timelines you're going at, but overall, I started to get like really annoyed with it. I found it really frustrating, and just it was really starting to get I don't know, I was just really pissed off. So it was annoying me. And overall, I was just let down. I don't know. It got to a point where then the difficulty kind of went, and I was like, "Kay, what? No!" And I was just mad. So just mad. The next game is a game that it let me down because I found it just super boring, and that is Eternal Sonata. I tried this. I was so excited. I'm like, whoa, a JRPG about Chopin's dreams? Cool. I really like music, and I thought this is neat. But when you're playing it, you're like, oh man, there's not a whole lot going on here. I do feel it's worth a redo. Like, I should try it again. It wasn't like some of the other games where I went to the end and I was just let down and stuff. I don't know. It was just a little bit boring. So that's kind of all I have to say about it, because it was just a little bit of a letdown. The last game that's on my list is a game that so many people like, and I'm really sorry, but I just found it boring, and that is Animal Crossing New Leaf. I played this game for hours. Every day I woke up and I was playing it, and then I realized, wow, I just walk around in the same town and kind of do nothing, and I am so bored. I don't even like do much, like farm. All I do is collect like fruit and bugs, and I'm bored. I'm just bored. Yeah, Animal Crossing is just not for me. Those are games that really disappointed me. They were essentially just letdowns. So, what let you down? What game did you buy hyped as hell, and then you're like, so then it makes it worse. It makes it worse when it's a game that you really wanted to play. So yeah, tell me what it is, and I'll see you guys later.